It doesn't connect to Bluetooth, it doesn't have a camera, it doesn't even come with ink refills. And yet, this pen, which costs as much as a used car, is sold out across the world. We're talking waitlists that stretch into the thousands, collectors flipping them for double the price, and auctions where people treat a pen like a Picasso. So what's the deal with this $10,000 pen? And how did a simple writing instrument become one of the most irrational status symbols of the 21st century? To find out, we have to start with a crime. A marketing crime so subtle, it's been repeated in every luxury category since. Let's get something out of the way. This pen doesn't write 10,000 times better than a $1 ballpoint. In fact, some argue it writes worse. Luxury pens, especially the legendary Montblanc Patron of Art series, are heavy, slow, and impractical for daily use. But that's the point, because luxury isn't about function. It's about friction. When something is deliberately harder to use, it forces you to slow down, to notice, to feel. And in a world flooded with cheap, fast, disposable tech, owning something that does just one thing, beautifully, wastefully, unapologetically, is a flex. But how did the pen become the ultimate example of this? To answer that, we need to go back to the man who convinced the world to start writing with jewelry. In 1992, Montblanc launched a limited edition pen inspired by the artist Lorenzo de' Medici. Only 4,810 were made. Why that number? It wasn't random. It's the height of Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in Europe. Every part of the launch was designed to whisper status, not shout it. The design was Renaissance-inspired, hand-carved, individually numbered. The price? $1,000. At the time, people were outraged. $1,000 for a pen? But that's when Montblanc did something genius. They didn't argue. They disappeared. They pulled the pen from circulation. No mass market campaigns, no discounts, no justification. And suddenly, everyone wanted one. Because in luxury, the moment you start explaining, you've already lost. Montblanc didn't sell pens. They sold myth. But what really sent the hype into overdrive? That came from an entirely different industry. In 2005, an obscure blog posted a blurry photo of Salman Rushdie signing books, not with a Sharpie, but with a Montblanc. Soon, more sightings popped up. Steven Spielberg, Jay-Z, even Obama was rumored to use one. And when Hollywood props departments start placing Montblancs in courtroom dramas, detective series, and CEO desk scenes, the pen wasn't just a pen anymore. It was a signal of power, taste, and discretion. But here's the catch. Celebrities don't flex with logos anymore. They flex with the stuff that looks ordinary until you get closer. Montblanc leaned into this. While luxury brands like Louis Vuitton went maximalist, Montblanc went minimalist. Understated, monochrome, no giant M logo. They made their pens look boring, on purpose. Because if you know, you know. And if you don't, you're not in the club. But even Montblanc didn't expect what happened next. Enter Japan. In the early 2010s, Montblanc saw a surge in demand from Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. But instead of increasing supply, they did the opposite. They launched regional exclusives, pens that could only be bought in Japan, with designs inspired by no theater, samurai armor, or ancient calligraphy. And they priced them even higher. Suddenly, global collectors were booking flights to Japan just to try to find one. Secondary markets exploded. $10,000 pens were reselling for $25,000. In pristine condition, even more. Why? Because now it wasn't just about taste, it was about access. And access is the new luxury. But the most insane part? The people buying these pens didn't even use them. Which brings us to the weirdest twist of all. Most people think of pens as tools, but for a certain type of collector, they're valuable assets. Montblanc's high-end releases often come with a certificate, a serial number, and limited production runs. That makes them function almost like rare watches or art. In fact, some banks in Switzerland have started issuing insurance plans for luxury pens worth over $100,000. And some ultra-wealthy collectors have vault rooms specifically for pens. Climatized, humidity-controlled, video surveillance. Why? Because they're betting that in 20 years, these pens will be worth 5 to 10 times their retail value. And they might be right. In 2021, a limited edition Montblanc Gandhi pen sold at auction for $125,000. That's over 25 times its original price. But this raises a weird question. If no one's using them, what's the point? To answer that, we need to talk about something deeper than money. Here's the paradox. People don't buy $10,000 pens in spite of their uselessness. They buy them because of it. In a world where everyone's chasing productivity and utility, owning something that serves no rational function is the ultimate rebellion. It's not about writing, it's about rewriting the rules. Luxury pens are artifacts of intentionality. They say, "I choose this," even when it makes no sense. It's the same reason people collect vinyl, wear mechanical watches, or drive stick-shift Ferraris. It's a way of saying, "I don't need this, but I want it, and that's enough." So the next time you see a $10,000 pen and wonder who on earth would buy that, you're asking the wrong question. The real question is, what does it say about a world where not needing something is what makes it most valuable? A pen that doesn't write better, doesn't work harder, and yet becomes the most coveted object on someone's desk. Montblanc didn't just sell ink, they sold identity. In a world drowning in disposable tools, they made one worth treasuring, not because of what it does, but because of what it refuses to do. And that's why the $10,000 pen is always sold out.